So a little about myself. My name is Vasudha, and a little about myself. If I start a little early, so I had a lot of questions in my life even as a 8 year old when I have the last memory registered where I would sit on terrace alone asking questions about the universe and life and its meanings and the mind and the patterns of life. While um, my my we were in a big joint family with 30 kids in the house, maybe more, as distant relatives would be all around, and seeing them be really happy about things and then being sad about certain things. I had a lot of questions related to these patterns and repetitions which we go through, and I was looking for something more. I felt that there's something missing in life. There are some missing links which are to be explored, and I would resort to a lot of things where I would read some books. They would give me a little sense of temporary relief at that time, but really for the next instance when I would be in a situation like this, I would feel, oh, but this was not the answer. And I would discuss a lot with my father. He is a very spiritual, deep person also. My mother, sleeping on the other side of the bed, would think that these people are a little, gone from there. Because, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, we would be discussing things, and it would not make any sense to my mother. When I was about 19, I came to doing my first meditation experience. At that time, meditation was something which old people who had nothing else in their lives to do. Uh, I was open minded. I wanted, because that exploration was there going on in the back of the mind. I reached this meditation class, and the first experience of meditation, and I felt, oh yes, I got my answers. So, and there was a very strong belief inside also that if this continues in my life, it would be giving me all the other answers that I'm looking for. And so that's where the journey started at 19. And yes, I'm 47 now. And all throughout this time, one thing that has been constant is meditation and the spiritual aspect. I was also into, a lot of other things at that time. And I think that's my nature, to do a lot of other things and explore life. And it took me places. I got married, and uh, one thing I wanted my husband to experience was spirituality. And both of us together again did the course, and even he experienced what I was experiencing. So that's something that happened. And then, as I started exploring more on this path, I would see people. I would do a little seva here and there, help in organizing, and I would see people come with a lot of baggage and burdens, and they would get very relieved after they had done the course. And so somewhere I felt, oh, I should become a teacher, and this is something nice which gives people solace and happiness, and this is something I would like to share in my life. I also would go to a lot of, I would like to do seva work, service work in my life, because I was teaching some kids while, I had a home furnishing store then. I would go to this Akanksha Foundation in between my work hours and teach children painting. That is what I also learned professionally in my college. So it would give me a lot of happiness to spread happiness. And that's how naturally I got more involved in seva. And one day I decided, okay, this is good. I should become a teacher, because this can benefit people so much. And so the journey of teaching meditation programs, breathworks started as an art of living teacher. And several projects I've done alongside, like the voter campaign, which we did, which registered a lot of people, which also, for the award that was given, I was nominated to receive that award from the late President Abdul Kalam ji then. And then, projects like river rejuvenation, naturally it would just happen that, in fact, when I was a kid, if I placed dots together, I would feel, um, those freedom fighters were so lucky to fight for the country. What is it that we can do? So that feeling of nationalism and that patriotism was there inside. And whenever there was and I'm thankful to Gurudev and Art of Living to give us platforms where, with the little that we can do, we are able to support those projects. So a lot of projects I've been a part of. Even now, I work a lot for the free school desk that we have. So that is something which comes naturally and passionately to me, where I want to contribute to the society in the ways I can. We've done several cleanups with Ramnik. We did one program for all over Bombay college students, where we, during the COVID, they were going through a lot of anxiety. So we were running meditation programs for them, drug-free campaign in colleges. So yeah, almost like 20-25 years of my life has gone, has been invested into service. And I'm very grateful and thankful for all of those experiences, because that just kept opening up more about myself. So this is a little about, from where I picked up this journey of astrology. This was not in my charts at all. And yeah, Bau, has taken us places, and, he says this board game, and we play it and we have so much fun. So he suddenly called me one day and he said, okay, this is something great. Why don't you explore? So it's just a yes mind. And I said, okay, let's do it, and let's see what is there in this. It's come unsought. I have not been really asking for anything like this, but it has come to me. Let me explore what this is. Also, at that time, my father was going through health issues. My mother was going through health issues. Especially for my father, I had lots of questions, because he's been a very rightful man. He's lived a very pious life, and I see him also very spiritual. But for him to go through the traumas that he was going through was a little disturbing inside, knowing life, and all the knowledge that we hear and read, but seeing your very loved one whom you're connected with in pain, gets you those experiences as well. So I was also like, okay, let me learn this so that I can understand why my parents are going through what they are, and maybe I have some answers over there. So that was also one reason which I thought I would like to get onto this journey. First few classes were really a blank slate. I was sitting out there and I was wondering, okay, in the night I'm reading Yoga Vashisht, which says life, everything is unreal, and it's getting us detached from the material. And here I am making connections of why something has happened and for what. So it was a little contrast for me, and I was wondering what I'm doing here, but I was giving it my 100%, hearing everything that was being said, making notes. It was very interesting to be in that classroom experience again, just like Ramnik, after many years. But it felt nice to be there. And yes, I continued. The first day, Bhavani ma'am said, okay, now you can, start seeing charts. So I did one chart, and I called up this boy who's my student, very sincere, nice, good student in spirituality. And I saw all kind of possible problems in his charts, with the eighth house screaming loud, with so many planets being there. And I was in my heart saying that, oh, this boy, and it's almost the end of his Lagna. And I was like, I said, this boy went through all of this, and he did not share any of these things with me. And why didn't he do that, So when I shared the whole thing, the whole chart with him, something in the end he said was that, oh, I got a lot of relief from this, Didi. And I was like, why is he feeling relieved? What did I just showed him all the wrong things which are showing up and screaming aloud in his chart. Why is he feeling relieved? So that was like a revelation, kind of experience for myself, where, okay, this can give relief. That was the first connection that I made. Um, I was doing the practices and things were coming up. And then the karma class happened. And that was very intriguing. And the connections about the mother and father being so karmically connected to who I am is something I understood even more deeply. And the prayers, when I was doing the prayers, actually tears were falling, you know, were coming up. And so I really found that very important. Um, so a family member, I had seen his chart, very close family member. I'd seen his chart, and I saw resolvable problems with the father, and of course, this karma class further re-established that how it is so important for us to have that connection with the mother and father, no matter uh, who they are, what wrong we think they have done, what their lagna is saying, what their charts are saying. We need to have for our own peace of mind, for our own growth. We need to talk to them. We need to have proper connections with them and pray to them and be having that sense of thankfulness and gratefulness for getting this body itself. So, when this got shared, I went back to my family person and I said, hey, you need to get this sorted. And um, and so this also had come to me as the right thing to do as a teacher. But then when it was reestablished with the karma class and what I saw in his charts, I kept pushing him. I kept pushing him. He kept resisting. I kept pushing him. And I just thought that this has to be done and this had to be done for this person. And so I pushed him, and he finally went. He met with his father. He was having long-term issues with the father, and he was holding on a lot of things in his heart. The father had gone through a little accident, and he was resisting. So the father was in another city, and he was resisting going and meeting him and saying, what can I do, or really what, how will this change anything? Knowing that this was the right thing, still he was resisting a lot. So he went and he met the father, and he said that my father has never talked to me that long in my life. He spoke about so many things which he would never talk about. And the whole day went very peacefully for him. It was a air travel coming back. And then later he shared that how so many things in his work were stuck, and how everything on that particular day were just getting answered. So his business, some monies were stuck which came in, some orders were stuck which came in, and all of that happened while all of this happened with his father. So I was and he was so grateful and he was very thankful that I pushed him. And one thing I know, that yes, knowing that this was the right thing to do, I wouldn't have pushed him that much if it wasn't for these classes. If I had not heard, I would have educated him and then taken a seat back and said, okay, but I have said it. But then I could see for his own well being, this was so important, and something which could, it was also showing that it will become unresolvable if he does not attend to it then in his chart. And it was so important for him. And I think that really gave that window for the light to come in, and both the father and son to move forward in their relationship. So I thought that was a very big a thing which happened from this class, which, in some way will change the course of life for this person who's a family member. So this is something which, it was also, as I said, I came with a blank slate. It is a revelation for me, whatever has happened while I've been here. I did few other charts, and somehow everyone, there was this student's mother, and who would walk into problems, and it was all showing in the charts. And I spoke to her, uh, and she was all ears. She kept hearing whatever I was saying with prompt attention. She said, whatever you are saying is bang on. And then, in between, I was also counseling her the way I would as an art of living teacher, according to what scriptures say, according to what Gurudev says, and in those situations, what you have to do. But what I felt different here was that person was more absorbing whatever I was saying. And she was in a yes mind already. In a classroom of 20 people, we take everyone in one place and then we give them guidance. But here we have a reference point of where the person is, and to help them navigate from there, okay, go right, go left. It makes more sense for them because they are not in the same plane as I am or anybody else is. So I think, Harigopal ji also said ki, how this helps you as a life coach. And I really feel that this will help people uh, in the way that we like to help them. And this is like a GPS actually, which gives you a kind of traffic jam conditions, all the diagnostics that we have learned uh, for the native. And so we can show them that, and they can maneuver their life around that, jam, which is the conditions showing in their charts. One thing which I really liked was that it is not fatalistic. Which often astrology is connected with, okay, now this is what is destined, so what can you do, and this is how you have to go through it. So this aspect of astrology was not there at all in these classes, where you're talking about solutions, where you're talking about how some of the houses themselves are free will. Of course there's a part the destiny plays, but there is so much that you can do from the self effort of the present moment, which also the scriptures are saying. Yeah. So I, in that sense, I have made that connection, and I feel this is a very deep, very, very deep knowledge. And I'm just starting to make the first few connections. Now also every chart is like a experience for myself, where I'm saying, oh wow, okay, how does this happen, kind of thing. So lots more to learn, lots more to um, absorb, grasp. I'm still struggling with the memorizing, okay, Ashlesha is Mercury. So this is still going on in my mind loud, but I would like to take this journey forward. And yes, Harigopal sir, Silvamani sir, Bhavani ma'am, you all have been such great teachers, such patient teachers. You answer all kind of questions that we ask. And your dedication for this path and this knowledge is itself something we can revere. Having somebody like Guruji of ALP here coming in and guiding us, giving his blessings, I would every time just close my eyes and say, okay, you please bless me so I get this, because I think those blessings work more than what we can gather from our efforts. We are putting that, but he has been very compassionate to give his time here, and I'm grateful. I do look forward to doing my practices, and in the part 2 course come with things right there, and take this forward from here. My grandfather, so my Nanaji, was a great astrologer. A lot of film stars, and my mother tells me, would go to him asking his charts, asking their charts to him. And my father, who's an engineer, who has a very strong logical brain, and he keeps asking me questions about what I'm learning. Believed in astrology because of my Nanaji, who had predicted things for my father which came true. So every time I'm sitting in the class, I'm also asking his blessings that, okay, if this can help me serve people out there, help me take people ahead in their lives, please, you bless me so that I learn this. So this is too vast and too big, and I feel I've just dipped my feet into the water and it's like an ocean. So yeah, that's my experience. I've said it a lot. We are teachers, we are used to talking a lot. So sorry for taking that much time. Jai Gurudev.